State of the World Urgent Report, 9 December 2025. Training groups, making memes, and any rhetoric that could be deemed as anti-American in nature has now been labeled as domestic extremism by Pam Bondi in your own federal government. This story tonight has major implications for both the Second Amendment and First Amendment communities. Share this video with everybody you know. Hit the like button, engage with the video to help spread its message, and let's just get right into the story. On December 4th, 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi issued an internal DOJ memo directing federal law enforcement, including the FBI and Joint Terrorism Task Forces, to compile a list of individuals and organizations that may be engaged in domestic extremism, review intelligence files on Antifa-aligned groups, and investigate possible financial or tax-related crimes connected to those groups. This was a formal directive, not a casual suggestion. In early December of 2025, this memo leaked, and copies reached every major news agency to include Reuters, The Guardian, Snopes, and others. This is the moment that the public found out about this memorandum, not because the government announced it, but because somebody inside leaked it. What does the memorandum actually say? It compiles a list of individuals and groups, not just confirmed criminals, but individuals who may be involved in extremist activity. The language is important. It is saying to investigate ideological markers. The memo lists several ideological categories tied to concern indicators, including anti-capitalist messaging, anti-Christian or anti-American rhetoric, radical gender ideology, opposition of immigration enforcement, pro-mass migration networks, Antifa and Antifa-aligned groups, groups using protest or threat of violence for political goals. These are broad ideological themes, not necessarily illegal actions. Cross-agency intelligence sharing includes agencies were instructed to push intelligence to the FBI and fusion centers. This increases the number of analysts reviewing a citizen's online footprint. This memo directs investigators to consider financial crimes even in organizations primarily flagged for ideology. This has historically been used to target groups indirectly. The memo frames this as protecting public safety and reducing domestic threats. It does not say to arrest people for speech, but broad language expands the funnel of who gets attention. Here's why this connects to regular Americans. Think of this memo like a shift in intelligence rules of engagement for what gets flagged, forwarded, and analyzed. When ideological signals are included alongside actual criminal behavior, it changes what analysts look for, who gets added to data sets, who gets their background reviewed, which online communities get attention. Even if 99% of the people flagged are harmless, the collection still occurs. This is where normal Americans enter the picture. The memo uses may be involved. That is the lowest possible threshold for collection. Not evidence, not probable cause, just potential. Speech and ideology are part of the criteria. Posting anti-government frustration, memes, sarcasm, or political complaints, all completely legal, mind you, can still be captured as indicators. Non-criminal groups can be misread, such as gun groups, preparedness pages, local training clubs, training groups. An analyst unfamiliar with the world could easily misinterpret normal behavior. Broad language invites scope creep. Historically, every government watch list expands Patriot Act lists, fusion center feeds, SAR tip programs, etc. Once the aperture widens, it rarely narrows, i.e., once you open the cookie jar, you can't put the lid back on. Cultural misunderstanding is a threat. The people making these lists often don't understand gun culture, training culture, the prepper community, online humor, memes, and what memes actually mean, guardrails normal Americans use in speech. Misunderstanding becomes the danger, not misconduct. So what does this mean for the modern American law-abiding Minuteman, the Americans who try to train, speak freely, and take responsibility for their families and their community? This memo does not label you a criminal. It does not tell agents to target lawful citizens, but it does create conditions where you could be misinterpreted. A photo of a group training could look like paramilitary. A meme could be misread as literal. A venting post could look like extremism. A preparedness meetup could be flagged using AI generation and analysts that don't understand as an associated network. Nothing illegal, but everything is easier using these AI systems will be misunderstood in the beginning and then later clarified. This is why discipline matters. Online discipline, training discipline, association discipline, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because misinterpretation gets easier when definitions broaden. So here's the bottom line. A memo was written and leaked on December 4th, 2025 to the media. The memo includes lists, ideological markers, intelligence sharing, financial crime angles. This does not criminalize regular Americans, but it does widen a net. And in military terms, the rules of engagement or the battle space just got a lot foggier. So what should you do? For the trained, responsible citizen, the law-abiding American that's listening to this, be aware, be smart, be disciplined, and stay on the right side of the line. And understand that anytime the scope gets broadened, innocent, law-abiding people could be targeted unintentionally, because whenever things of this nature are broadened in this way in a mass knee-jerk reaction, guys that are just trying to go to the range and train with buddies and post memes online can now be labeled unintentionally or intentionally, on the nefarious side, if that's the way you want to look at it, as a paramilitary or an extremist or a domestic extremist group. So, like I said, share this video with everybody you know. Make them aware of this memorandum that was released on the 4th and leaked or signed on the 4th from Attorney General Pam Bondi. Make them aware of what this means. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere, right, to be optimistic. But on the pessimistic side, if this does land and stick and becomes the law of the land, right, now you going out and making a meme, posting it on Instagram, you could now have taken the joke of Fed posting and made it a reality for your situation, even though you were a completely law-abiding citizen. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're actually subscribed to the channel. Leave your Combat Llama emojis down below. And let me know if this actually helps you and your family stay aware of the ever-changing dynamics, not only in the world, but in our country. Keep in mind this channel doesn't represent any organization, the War Department, or the United States Army in any way. I'm just an independent third party reporting the news as I see it. And the facts are, this memorandum does state all of the things we discussed tonight. Cheers.